Hello, good evening, everyone.
Good
Good
evening,
evening, ma'am.
ma'am.
How are you? कैसे हैं आप लोग? Questions हो रहे हैं? Any doubt in previous chapters? No doubt? Let's wait for 2-3 minutes so that other can join before starting the next chapter. Should we start now? It's 4:07. If there is no doubt, then I think I should start now. It's 4:07. Starting with the new chapter, that is second chapter. Second chapter, this one is decision making under uncertainty. That is decision making under risky situation. So there are certain methods in this chapter we have to study about. These methods are sensitivity analysis, certainty equivalent approach, decision tree, standard deviation, that is coefficient of variation method here, RADR, risk adjusted discount rate, and options, that options we have read. Now effect of inflation and some more methods. So almost 10 methods are there in this chapter, but chapter is easy. So starting with the first one, payback period we have already read in chapter 1, risk adjusted discount rate. Now next method is in this chapter to evaluate the risky project. It means how to take decisions in the case of risky project. So first method here is risk adjusted discount rate. Now in the case of risk adjusted discount rate, everything will remain same, only the cost of capital will be added with risk premium. आप जितना ज्यादा कॉस्ट ऑफ कैपिटल इंक्रीज करते हैं, एनपीवी क्या होता है, डिक्रीज होता है. आपने पीछे चैप्टर्स में पढ़ा, व्हेन cost of capital is increased, suppose at 10% NPV is 10,000, then at 12% it will decrease, NPV will decrease. जो आपका नेट प्रेजेंट वैल्यू होगा वो जैसे जैसे आप कॉस्ट ऑफ कैपिटल इंक्रीज करेंगे वो कम होगा. रिमेंबर द मेथड IRR, उसमें हम लोग निकालते थे लोअर रेट पे एंड हायर रेट पे, तो हायर रेट पे आपका माइनस में आता था. दैट इज विद द इंक्रीज इन कॉस्ट ऑफ कैपिटल the value of NPV decreases. So here if we are evaluating the risky project and we are considering that risky project will give lower NPV, so risk adjusted discount rate is used. And how to find risk adjusted discount rate? This will be cost of capital plus risk premium, and this risk premium will be given in the question. Suppose cost of capital is given as 10% and risk premium is 2% given in the question, then total RADR will be 12%. It means we have to find now net present value at 12%. RADR, that will be cost of capital plus risk premium. For example, if cost of capital is 10% and risk premium is given as 2%, then the rate we have to take for the computation of NPV will be used as 12%. फिर आपको NPV 12% पे निकालना है and rest of the things will remain same. बाकी सारे calculation same होंगे. Only here we have to use the cost of capital as 12%, not 10%. ये नहीं लेना. So this is risk adjusted discount rate. Now higher RADR will be used for risky project. As the risk will increase, the RADR, that is risk premium, will increase and RADR, risk adjusted discount rate, will increase. तो risky projects के लिए हम लोग higher RADR use करेंगे because with the increase in RADR, NPV will decrease. And risky project से आप assume कर रहे हैं कि that will give lower NPV. So this is the very simple method. Only we have to take is add risk premium to cost of capital to find RADR. Now next one is next method, effect of inflation. When inflation is given, when rate of inflation is given, in that case how to find NPV. So in the case of inflation rate, we have to find the nominal discount rate. Real discount rate is cost of capital. Real discount rate is cost of capital given, and nominal discount rate is discount rate after the adjustment of inflation rate. So how to find nominal discount rate? The relationship between these two is real discount rate is equal to nominal minus inflation rate divided by 1 plus inflation. So how to find this one? How to find nominal discount rate? With the help of one example, we will see at page number 51. At page 51, this is the question given. Theory is given here. Impact of inflation. So in the case of inflation, we have to adjust the discount rate with inflation, and it can be adjusted with the help of formula we have seen here. We have to find nominal discount rate, and with the help of nominal discount rate, we will find NPV. So first, how to find nominal discount rate? Question here is initial outlay, that is initial investment 24 lakh. Next one, live 4-year. Annual profit before depreciation and tax 10 lakh. Income tax 40%, inflation 5%, real discount rate, that is cost of capital, is 10%. So how to find NPV in this case when inflation is given, rate of inflation is given? So first we have to find there are two methods given in this question. One is this one and another method is this one. So first we are taking the alternative method. इसका solution आपको first बताती हूँ कि what is this, how to find nominal discount rate from real discount rate. Real discount rate is given, inflation is given, but in the case of inflation, we have to find nominal discount rate to find the net present value. So how to find nominal discount rate? Real is equal to nominal minus inflation divided by 1 plus inflation. I have solved this one. This is the question. Here risk RDR, that is real discount rate, is what? 10%. Inflation is what? 5%. So formula is real discount rate. The same formula is here. This is the formula. Real discount rate is nominal minus inflation divided by 1 plus inflation. So real is nominal discount rate minus inflation divided by 1 plus inflation. So this one will be RDR, is that is real discount rate, cost of capital 10%, nominal rate, and I have taken here inflation 5%, and then 1 plus inflation 1.05. Now we have to solve this equation. After solving this equation, N, that is nominal discount rate, will be 15.5. How to solve this one? 0.1 multiplied with 1.05, that is equal to, in right hand side, N minus 0.05. Now this one 0.05 will be added here. Nominal N will be 0.155 or 15.5%. Now at this rate, using this cost of capital 15.5%, we have to find the NPV. Any doubt in this calculation? Real discount rate is cost of capital. Nominal is nominal discount rate we have to find, and at this discount rate NPV will be computed. Inflation is 5%. So we have solved, and nominal is 15.5%. Now we will see the solution here. That nominal discount rate is here 15.5%, and at this 15.5%, NPV has been computed. That is minus 25,824. Or it can be computed in this way also. That is first nominal cash flow after tax 8,40,000. This method can also be used. Real cash flow, Well, it means here the cash flow is converted first, that is the real cash flow. Cash flow here is given and it will be converted, and that is real cash flow will be nominal divided by 1 plus inflation rate, and then we have to find present value of real cash flow, and then this one will be added to find present value of cash outflow. मीन्स आप जो एडजस्टमेंट यहाँ पे करते हैं, वन मेथड तो ये हो सकता है कि कॉस्ट ऑफ कैपिटल में ही वी हैव टू मेक द एडजस्टमेंट. अनदर थिंग इज वी कैन एडजस्ट इन कैश फ्लो. So two methods are given. Any method can be used. Answer will be same. So easier one is this is first we convert the cost of capital real to nominal, and this is in objective question also, in 2 marks question also. Sometimes it is asked find out nominal discount rate or real discount rate for the 2 marks question or objective question. Any doubt? Then let us move to the next method, certainty equivalent approach. It means certainty equivalent. We have to make uncertain cash flow to certain. That is certainty equivalent approach, very easy method. Certainty equivalent approach, here we take the cash flow. Cash flows are given. Certainty equivalent approach is, that is factor is given. Certainty equivalent factor will be given. We have to multiply the cash flow with certainty equivalent factor. Same as probability. This is the, it means if the cash flow is 1,80,000, it is certain that 80% of cash flow will be realized. That is the certainty equivalent factor. So we have to make this cash flow into adjusted cash flow. That is multiply this cash flow with certainty equivalent factor. And we have multiplied here, it is 1,44,000. Same way, all the cash flows will be multiplied with certainty equivalent factor, and this will be used for the computation of NPV. Certainty equivalent method में जो आपका कैश फ्लो गिवन होता है उसे हम certainty equivalent CE फैक्टर से मल्टीप्लाई करते हैं. फिर जो कैश फ्लो आएगा दैट इज सर्टेन कैश फ्लो, इसको हम यूज करके टोटल नेट प्रेजेंट वैल्यू NPV कंप्यूट करेंगे. फॉर दिस वी विल डू क्वेश्चन 6. This is the question given. Same question. Year-end cash flow this much. Certainty equivalent is this much. We have made the cash flow into adjusted cash flow. Means multiply this one with certainty equivalent factor and then multiply with PV factor. Initial investment is 340 and PV will be minus 18,264 for project X. Same way for project Y, we have to find NPV and it is 41458. It means on the basis of certainty equivalent approach, we have to select the project Y. Project Y हमें select करना है on the basis of certainty equivalent. Now second point of this question. If due to second point only I have taken this question. First one is very easy. Second point is if risk adjusted discount rate method is used. If risk adjusted means RADR method is used, which project will be analyzed at higher rate? Which project will be taken or discounted at higher rate? Means RADR will be higher for which project? किस प्रोजेक्ट के लिए RADR हाई होगा, हमें ज्यादा लेना है. तो रिस्की प्रोजेक्ट के लिए हम RADR हायर RADR यूज करते हैं. वी हैव रेड higher RADR is used for risky project, and here the risky project is, that is risky project is X. X has 18,264, here it is 41458. Since certainty equivalent approach coefficient of X is lower, project X seems to be more riskier than Y. Therefore, if RADR method is used, X will be analyzed at higher rate. तो हमें यहाँ पर पूछ रहा है कि कौन सा प्रोजेक्ट ज्यादा रिस्की है, तो RADR किसके लिए हाई होगा. That was about question 6. Small question that can even be for online exam also. छोटे क्वेश्चंस आपके प्रोबेबिलिटी ज्यादा है छोटे क्वेश्चंस की, तो इसे आप इस तरह के क्वेश्चंस, छोटे क्वेश्चंस that can be easily done in online exam also. After that, next method, coefficient of variation. Now next one is coefficient of variation. We have read in chapter portfolio, that is standard deviation is used to analyze some projects, that is which project is riskier and which has low risk. In portfolio we have analyzed standard deviation, the securities with the help of standard deviation. Now we have to use coefficient of variation. Now why coefficient of variation? Just we will see some theory. Suppose this is the example I have taken. Stock A has expected return 15%. In portfolio we have read expected return is 15% for A and standard deviation is 10%. For B, return is 10% and standard deviation 5%. So project stock B has lower standard deviation. On the basis of this, project B should be selected, but return is high for A. Now the confusion will be there, which project should be selected, which stock should be selected, A or B, because A has higher return, B has lower standard deviation. Now in this case, it is better to use COV, that is coefficient of variation. Here coefficient of variation helps to take the decision. Now how? Coefficient of variation is equal to, that is standard deviation divided by expected return or net present value. That is standard deviation formula for coefficient of variation. Coefficient of variation is equal to standard deviation divided by NPV, ratio of standard deviation NPV. Now NPV in this case, in portfolio we can take return. Here. Now in the case, coefficient of variation for stock A is 0.67, that is 0.67, 10, standard deviation 10 divided by 15. For B, it is 5 divided by 10, 0.5. Now coefficient of variation as the same way, standard deviation, we had taken the lower value as good preference. So here also the stock or project with lower coefficient of variance will be preferred. So coefficient of variation for B is lower. It will be taken as superior investment from risk-based perspective. So coefficient of variation is used in the case of risky project, and that project will be selected which has lower coefficient of variation. That is again for small question, 2 marks question, find the coefficient of variation. In this case, first there may be given find standard deviation and then coefficient of variation. Calculation might be given for first find the standard deviation or NPV, then find coefficient of variation and then take the decision. Coefficient of variation. Next, I think I should move to the next one, that is decision tree. Now decision tree with the question itself. This time in online exam, decision tree probability will be somewhat, can't say, but in this we cannot make the diagram here. In online exam, it's difficult to draw the diagram. There are 2 questions, both I will take for decision, this decision tree. Question number 1, that is illustration first. A firm has initial proposal requiring an outlay of 40,000, that is capital investment at the beginning 40,000, investment proposal is expected to have 2 years economic life with no salvage value. In year 1, there is 0.4 probability that cash inflow after tax will be 25,000 and 0.6 probability that cash inflow will be 30,000. It means in the initial investment is 40,000 and probability that the project will give 25,000 cash inflow is 40% and 30,000 cash inflow, that probability is 60%. The first diagram, that is initial cash outflow 40,000 in first year. There is 40% probability that cash flow in first year will be 25,000. Life of project is 2 years. So for first year, 25,000 cash inflow, this probability is 40%. To have the cash inflow 30,000, that probability is 60%, that is 0.6. Now in the second year, if second year this information is given, in the second year, if cash inflow is 25,000 in first year, then in second year, the cash inflow will be 12,000, 16,000 and 22,000. In second year, there might be three conditions. That cash flow will be 12,000, 16,000 and 22,000. For this, probability is, for 12,000 probability is 0.2, 16 it is 0.3 and 22 it is 0.5. So any of the three situation can be there in the second year cash flow. So for the second year, cash flow can be 12,000, 16 and 22 and probability we have written here. In the same way, for 30,000, we have written the probability and cash flow. Now, any of these six, there are six paths. The project can have any of the six paths. That is, starting with this, suppose first year 25,000. In second year, the cash flow can be 12,000. So this one will be the one path. This can be the 25,000, 16,000. It can be second, it can be third, and same way fourth, fifth, and sixth. So sixth path can be there. Now the joint probability 0.4 and 0.2, 0.4, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5. Same way we have computed for this also. So first point, construct the decision tree. This one will be the diagram. Now second case, what NPV value will the project yield if worst outcome is realized? In selection, now the question arises with the selection of project. So for the selection, we have to make the table. We have to find the NPV. In the first year, 25,000, 3 cases for 25,000, that 3 cases for 25 and 3 cases for 30. So in first year, 25 in 3 cases, 12, 16 and 22. आपका फर्स्ट ईयर में 25,000 होगा, सेकेंड ईयर में 12 होगा, फिर फर्स्ट ईयर 25,000, सेकेंड ईयर 16. Again for first year 25, second year 22. Now we will multiply with PV factor for first year. Cost of capital is given as 12%. So at 12%, PV factor is for first year 8929, for second year 7972. Now we have multiplied this one with PV factor and collectively we have added. This is total cash inflow, cash outflow, net present value, cash outflow minus inflow. That is minus 811. Same for the second year. We have to multiply with PV factor. Then we have to find the sum of these two and NPV. So NPV we have computed in table 1. Now next table. We have to find expected net present value. That is, we have to find this net present value with probability. With probability of this path. So net present value, this one, this is the table. This table has been used here, these values. Now joint probability, this is the joint probability we have taken, this figure. Now we have to multiply, this one will be expected net present value. That is net present value multiplied with probability. That expected value we have read in portfolio also. Now this one will be the values. Now two tables are there. Third point says, second point. Second question. If the worst outcome, what net present value will the project yield if worst outcome is realized? Means we have to, and third point asks, what is the best outcome and what is the worst outcome? So what is the worst outcome and what is the best outcome? For this decision making, we will read some theory. The expected value criteria. That is, expected value criteria means this table. Generally, this table, expected value is this one. This table is used in the case when attitude of investor is risk neutral. That investor is not affected with the risk. That is, investor is risk neutral. In that case, this table is generally used. However, this table is preferred over this one. But when it is written, the investor is risk neutral, we have to take the decision on the basis of this table. Now, sometimes attitude of investor is means preference of investor is not given in the question, then decision can be taken on the basis of NPV. That decision, if attitude of investor, nothing is mentioned about the investor preference, that is risk neutral investor, risk bearing investor, or risk averse, nothing is mentioned. In that case, NPV, this method can be used also. Now, which method to be used? In this question, again we will read the question. Nothing is given till this point about the investor choice. But in the second point, question says, here, do the profitability index and NPV criterion. It means NPV criterion has been used in this question. It has been assumed that this NPV criterion, this method is used. That is, attitude of investor is not known here. So, this question has been solved on the basis of NPV. On the basis of NPV, what is the worst outcome? That is worst NPV. 8111. This is the lowest value. So when worst outcome is realized, path 1 will be selected. That is path 1, worst outcome 8111. This is the worst outcome, and worst outcome is for path 1, that is 8111. Now second point, what is the best outcome? We are using this table. Best outcome, that is highest NPV, is for path 6, 10703. For path 6, best outcome is for path 6 when NPV is 10703. If we have used this table, in that case, best outcome is path 5. Best outcome here is path 5 on the basis of this table. Worst to same hai, best is different. But this has been taken, decision has been taken on the basis of this one. And why this one? Because in next point, it is written NPV criterion and nothing is mentioned about the investor choice in these 2 points. So it can be solved on the basis of this NPV table. Better to write the note in the exam that this table has been used or this table has been used. Now this question has been asked in June 2017. Illustration 1, June 2017. For the next question that I will also discuss, question number 2. Rest of the things will remain same. For question number 2, there are only 2 questions for decision making in the book, and these 2 questions have been asked in the exam itself. एक बार ये पूछता है, एक बार this question has been also asked in exam. Illustration 2. So illustration 2, this diagram we have to make. Second, NPV, we had taken NPV. In the same way we had done in illustration 1, NPV has been computed. Expected NPV has been computed. Now the question says, what is the best outcome and worst outcome? So here decision has been taken on the basis of this value expected NPV. Again, nothing is mentioned in the question. It is not given that NPV criterion has been used. Here it has been assumed that the investor that this method has been used. Expected NPV value, expected value criterion, that it has been assumed that investor is risk neutral. So this has been used for decision making. Which one is the worst outcome? That is path number 1. This is the situation for worst outcome, path 1. Which one is the best one? Best one is path 5. Path 5, that is the best one. So worst is NPV 13130 and path 1 1050. This one is the worst outcome, and best outcome is for path 5. That is for path 5. 5525. However, on the basis of NPV, path 6 is better. In the first question, we have taken the decision on the basis of NPV. Here, the second question, decision on the basis of this one. That's why I have taken both questions. This is the difference why this value is taken in question 1 and why this one in question 2. Any doubt? Should I move to the next topic? Any doubt in this one? Question 1 and question 2.
Once again, the explanation why we taken this one time for some for NPV, this one for expected NPV.
Sorry, now speak please. The volume was lower. I couldn't hear.
Can you explain one time for why taken that one for based on NPV, this one for expected NPV?
Yes, that's why I have discussed both these questions, because when you will do it at home, the confusion might arise in mind that in question number 1, NPV method has been used. This table has been used for decision making. Now, why this table has been used here? It is written, mentioned in the question, NPV criterion of evaluating investment proposal. One thing. Second, nothing is mentioned about the investor preference. That in PPT also, I have mentioned this one. If you forget, then please refer the PPT. When attitude of investor is not known, means nothing is given in the question about the attitude of investor. Then decision can be taken on the basis of NPV also. So one reason here that why it has been taken in question 1. In question 1, investor attitude is not mentioned, first point. Second, NPV criterion for decision making, investment decision, this has been mentioned in point B. That's why NPV value has been taken. But in question 2, nothing is mentioned. So we have assumed that investor is risk neutral and taken this value expected NPV. However, generally this method is used, expected NPV. So if nothing is mentioned, and if you have any doubt in exam, then better to use this one, second table. Use the second table to take the decision and write the note in the last. Write the note why you have taken this one and why not this one, and why you have taken NPV, why you have taken this method or this method. So note can be written in the exam itself. But so far as question number 1 and 2, the reason is in question 1, attitude is not mentioned, that is investor is risk neutral or risk loving. Second, NPV criteria, it has been mentioned in the question. Question number 2, nothing is written, so we have taken this method because this one is preferred over NPV criterion. Expected net present value is preferred over NPV criteria.
Thank you.
That's okay. Yes, that's why time to time ask whether
you'll be sharing this document also in the WhatsApp, right?
Yes, I will share this one. This
Okay,
document I have made for you itself for your reference. So I will share it in group after this class. Yes, Chandrika, I will go slow. अभी मुझे भी लग रहा है कि थोड़ा फास्ट है, टॉपिक इजी है, दैट्स व्हाई आपसे मैं बीच बीच में पूछती भी हूँ कि कुछ ज्यादा है तो बताएं, मैं थोड़ा इसमें आई विल गो स्लो. So far we have read. ठीक है, थोड़ा स्लो लेते हैं. रिस्क एडजस्टेड डिस्काउंट रेट, because there are 10 methods in this chapter. 10 methods हैं. Chapter topics are easy, but number of methods are there. That's why I have to maintain the speed also. First one is RADR, risk adjusted discount rate. In this method, इस method में हमें कुछ भी नहीं करना है, only हमें risk adjusted discount rate जो है उसमें चेंज करना है. दैट इज कॉस्ट ऑफ कैपिटल में रिस्क प्रीमियम ऐड करना है, देन एनपीवी कैलकुलेट होगा. तो इसके क्वेश्चन एज सच आपके अलग से नहीं है, उसी में मिक्स है क्वेश्चन. इफेक्ट ऑफ इन्फ्लेशन. इन्फ्लेशन के केस में वी हैव टू यूज द नॉमिनल डिस्काउंट रेट टू फाइंड द एनपीवी. एंड हाउ टू फाइंड नॉमिनल डिस्काउंट रेट? वी कैन यूज दिस फॉर्मूला. रियल डिस्काउंट रेट इज इक्वल टू नॉमिनल minus inflation divided by 1 plus inflation. And this question might be for objective also. In fact, this chapter is important for objective question also, because the methods are very short methods. So second method is, please try this one. This one is so many times this question, real discount rate, nominal discount rate. It has been asked in 2 marks question. Now certainty equivalent factor, that is certainty equivalent approach. This one is again easy. Just we have to multiply कैश फ्लो को आप सर्टेनिटी इक्विवेलेंट फैक्टर से मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे, फिर जो वैल्यू आएगा उसे आप यूज करेंगे. अब इसे भूल जाना है हमें, 180 ये भूल जाना है. वी हैव टू यूज दिस वन टू फाइंड एनपीवी. नाउ कोफिशिएंट ऑफ वेरिएशन. दिस मेथड इज यूज्ड to select for the selection of risky project. The project with lower coefficient of variation will be preferred. That is how to find coefficient of variation, standard deviation divided by NPV. इस बार तो ऑनलाइन एग्जाम है, अदरवाइज ये आपको एग्जाम में स्टैंडर्ड डेविएशन भी निकालना होता, एनपीवी दोनों निकालना होता, फिर ये डिसाइड करना था ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ कोफिशिएंट ऑफ वेरिएशन. Now decision tree. Decision tree, there are 2 questions in the book. Both of these questions have been asked in the exam and both have contradictory result. दोनों में जो यूज हुआ है मेथड वो कॉन्ट्राडिक्शन है, तो आपको घर पे कंफ्यूजन ना हो इसलिए मैंने दोनों ही मेथड आपको बताया कि ऐसा क्यों लिया है. एनी डाउट टिल दिस पॉइंट? यहाँ तक कोई दिक्कत है?
No, ma'am.
Okay, then let's move to the next method, that is sensitivity analysis. Now sensitivity analysis, that is how sensitive the project is with respect to a change in any factor. आपका प्रोजेक्ट किसी फैक्टर को चेंज करने से उस पर क्या इफेक्ट होगा, कितना इफेक्ट होगा, वो हमें निकालना है, परसेंटेज निकालना होता है. दैट इज व्हाट विल बी द चेंज इन एनपीवी, इफेक्ट ऑन एनपीवी विथ due to change in any factor. This overall we can say it is used to find the effect of change of variables on given outcome. जो आपका outcome है, जैसे आप NPV निकाल रहे हैं, in this chapter we are talking about NPV. So what will be the change in NPV when any factor is changed? So that is sensitivity analysis. So far as question is not given in the book, but example, from one example it can be seen. Sensitivity analysis. Inflation we have read. This one is sensitivity analysis. One example is given, but this example has been solved in better way in workbook. If you have the workbook, there is one question, same question is there in workbook. आपके पास workbook है तो या नहीं है तो आप डाउनलोड कर लेंगे. वर्कबुक आपको साइट पे है गिवन, एंड उसमें चैप्टर 2 होगा. चैप्टर 2 that is uncertainty, whatever the name of this chapter. Under this chapter, one question regarding sensitivity analysis is given. फर्क इतना ही है कि उसमें solution वहां आपको अच्छा है, better than this one. However, so far I will explain one point. Investment for sensitivity analysis, how to find sensitivity of the project. For example, investment is 1 lakh. The question says investment in project is 1 lakh. That is initial investment. Life is 3 years. Annual cash inflow 2 lakh. Annual cash outflow 1 lakh 50,000. Discount rate, cost of capital is 10%. This is the question given.
Page number, please.
Page number is 52. But solve this question from workbook. आप इसे घर पे please solve this question from workbook. One point I will solve. For the rest of the point, use the workbook solution, because the explanation is given there in workbook, and this one is easy. How to find sensitivity of project? Formula is NPV divided by the factor given. For example, if the question says find the sensitivity of project with respect to project cost, with respect to cash flow, with respect to cost of capital, or whatever factor that will be given in the question, we have to find sensitivity. So sensitivity will be NPV divided by project cost. If it is computed with respect to project cost, we have to take cost here, and simple percentage we will find. Now in this question, investment, initial investment 1 lakh, life 3 year, cash flow, annual cash inflow 2 lakh, and annual cash outflow is also there 1 lakh 50. So net cash inflow will be 50,000 only. Annually 2 lakh investment is there, 2 lakh inflow is there, and outflow is 150. So it will be net cash inflow will be only 50,000. And rate of investment is 10%. Now we have to find, computation has been given here. We have to find sensitivity due to 4 factors: initial investment, net cash inflow, life, and discount rate. Now for the 1 point, I have solved it here. Sensitivity analysis. This question, original investment is given as 1 lakh, this example, and NPV. First step we have to find NPV, because NPV, that is the formula for sensitivity, is NPV divided by factor जिसके respect में आपको निकालना है. So find out NPV. Step 1 will be computation of NPV. So we have to find NPV at 10%. Question is 1 lakh investment and NPV we have to find. Now NPV here is 24,300 and it has been computed here. NPV यहाँ starting में आपको निकालना है. This is the expected NPV here. This point 24,300. 1 lakh is the investment. Cash outflow. Net cash inflow is 50. And life of project is 3 years. So collectively it has been taken, that is PV factor NVT for 3 year 10%. 3 साल का हमने 10% पे NVT factor ले लिया और 50,000 से उसे multiply कर दिया. That is cash inflow. और 1 lakh ऐड किया है. Then how to find NPV? This is simple NPV computation. 24,300. So NPV we have computed. Now we have to find sensitivity of this project with respect to these 4 factors. That is initial investment, net cash flow, life, and this one. So for initial investment, suppose it is 1 lakh, it will be 24,300 NPV divided by investment, 24.3%. That is 24.3%. In same way we will find for cash flow, life, and discount rate. ये question, practice this question from workbook. यहाँ पे solution आपको काफी lengthy लग रहा है, जबकि only 1 line का solution है. Please practice this question from workbook. आपको कोई प्रॉब्लम आती है किसी में? जैसे आप इसे कंप्लीट कर लेंगे टेबल विथ रिस्पेक्ट टू नेट कैश फ्लो, लाइफ एंड डिस्काउंट रेट। स्मॉल क्वेश्चंस के लिए ये हो सकता है। So this one will be homework for you. Please practice this one. For initial investment, I have computed. For net cash flow, life and discount rate. Practice this question. If there is any doubt, refer the workbook. Their explanation is given. In the workbook, same question has been solved. Sensitivity analysis. So the formula for sensitivity will be NPV divided by factor with respect to which we are computing the sensitivity. जिस फैक्टर के लिए आप निकाल रहे हैं वो फैक्टर यूज करेंगे। जैसे इसमें एक एग्जांपल लिया था मैंने, ओरिजिनल इन्वेस्टमेंट के लिए कैसे निकालना है। एनपीवी इज 24300, इन्वेस्टमेंट इज 1 lakh, so it will be 24.3 with respect to initial investment. So this was for sensitivity analysis for objective question also. And now next method, simulation. आप इसके क्वेश्चन प्रैक्टिस करेंगे, कंप्लीट करेंगे ये क्वेश्चन। कोई डाउट होगा तो आप नेक्स्ट टाइम मुझे बताएंगे। नेट कैश फ्लो एंड विथ रिस्पेक्ट टू लाइफ एंड विथ रिस्पेक्ट टू डिस्काउंट। Now next method is simulation. Next method, that is simulation technique for computation of that is expected net present value, computation of net present value with the help of simulation technique. Monte Carlo simulation method is used here. Page 62, illustration 10. How to use the simulation technique. This one is in intermediate also. Simulation method. Page 62. Simulation आपने पढ़ा होगा पहले भी ऑपरेशन रिसर्च में। This is the question, 2-3 questions on the basis of simulation. Question is, a production manager is planning to produce new product and he wishes to estimate raw material requirement for new project. On basis of uses for similar product introduced, he has developed frequency distribution for demand. On the basis of previous information, the manager has made the frequency distribution of demand for 2-month period. और नेक्स्ट 2 मंथ के लिए उसने फ्रीक्वेंसी डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन ये एज्यूम किया है। यूज द डाटा टू सिमुलेट रॉ मटेरियल रिक्वायरमेंट फॉर 7 days. What will be the raw material requirement for these 7 days for which random numbers are given? Monte Carlo simulation uses the random number. So how to solve this one? How to find the demand for these random numbers given? Now the demand per ton is given, for frequency is given, that is demand in 1 day. 10 ton demand will be for 6 days. 10 ton demand will be for 6 days. 11 ton demand will be for 18 days. This information is given for 22 months, that is 2 months period, 60 days. Question says, the manager has developed a frequency distribution for 2-month period. Frequency distribution for the demand is given for 2 months. That is for 60 days demand is given. 60 days में 6 days तक हमारा डिमांड था 10, 18 days तक डिमांड था 11 and 15 days डिमांड 12 रहा. In this way demand is given for 60 days. So we have to find demand for these random numbers. Now how to find? With the help of simulation. It is written with the help of simulate. Use this data to simulate. So method, we will identify, simulation method is given. If random number is written here, that is simulation method has been used. So first step, find the probability. That is 6 divided by 60. This 6 days divided by this total 60. 18 divided by 60, 15 divided by, that is probability of this frequency. इस frequency की क्या probability होगी? So this is the probability. Next one, we have to find the cumulative probability, that is 10, 0.3 plus 0.1, 0.25 plus 0.40, then 0.65, 0.20. In this way, we have made cumulative probability table. First step, find the probability, that is this frequency divided by total frequency. Then cumulative probability, then random number. Now random number we have to make. How to make? This value is 10. Suppose it will be, this value is, cumulative probability is 10. The figure will be random number 0 to 9, then 10 to 39, 40 to 64, 65. It is now 85. So after this one, 65 to 84, then 85 to 94. In this way, random numbers we have allocated, and this one we have to make. We have to allocate the random number on basis of cumulative probability. Now for random numbers 27, these random numbers, we have to find the demand. First random number is 27, 13, 80. For 7 days it is given 27. Now 27 we will find in this table. Where will be 27? It will be in between 10 to 39. So related to this, what is the demand? Demand is 11. So 11 we have written. Next value 13. So 13 will again come under this category, and demand is 11. Next 80. 80 will be here. For this, demand is 13. Now 10, that is 10 is here. Demand will be 11. In the same way, we will find for these random numbers what will be the demand. Total demand 82. Total we have made this one. Now next one we have to find. The question says find the mean value. What will be the mean value? So total is 82. Total demand 82. So mean value will be 82 divided by 7. Simple mean 11.7 ton. Now what is the expected value? That is 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 and 15. This 10, this one multiplied with probability. This multiplied with probability. Simple, this demand multiplied with probability. How to find expected demand? That is expected value for the demand. According to the random distribution, expected value should be 11.7. Now according to this one, this is 11.1 into 10, 11 into 0.3. यही expected value आपको next निकाला, it is 12.5. क्वेश्चन आपका यहाँ तक कंप्लीट है. क्वेश्चन कह रहे हैं फाइंड आउट द मीन रिक्वायरमेंट. यूज दिस डेटा टू फाइंड रॉ मटेरियल यूजेस फॉर 7 days. The raw material uses for 7 days will be this one. Mean value will be this one. Also find, compute the expected value and comment on the result. That's why we have computed the expected value, and this line is given because the question says comment on the result. Now how to comment this one? Mean requirement, that is mean value should be 11.7 according to this simulation, but expected value is 12.5. How to find expected value? Demand into probability, that is this value into this, that is expected is 12.05. Now why this difference is there, 12.05 and it is 11.7? 0.35 difference is there because small sample, only 7 days sample has taken here. A much larger sample should be taken and several samples should be simulated to make the decision. This difference is due to small size of sample. This value is for 60 days and this one is for only 7 days. So that's why there is some difference in expected value and this mean value. again to the simulation method. How to find the simulation, how to use this random number for computation of whatever value given. Random number will be given, and on basis of this we have to find demand or whatever value it will be given here. So first step, find the probability. How to find probability? This frequency, find the sum of frequency, that is 60. Find the probability, that is 6 divided by 60, this table. Next one, find cumulative probability. Next one, allocate random numbers, and then find the random number. These values are given. Find the corresponding value related to these random numbers. So for 27, we have taken this value. In this way, we have to find. If it is written till this point itself, तो हमें यहीं तक करना था question. And mean value आप निकाल कर छोड़ देते. But the question says to comment also, compute the expected value and comment. So expected value will be computed on basis of this one, this into probability. This is the expected value. And then difference we have to show, and why this difference has occurred we have to write. So this is the simulation. However, simulation is in detail in intermediate level. वहाँ पे आपने और भी पढ़ा होगा इसमें Monte Carlo simulation. This is the Monte Carlo simulation. 1 question, 10, 11 question is also on the basis of this one. Simulation 11, हाँ ये भी है आपका simulation, but इतना लंबा अभी आपको एग्जाम में नहीं होगा, 10 days का है. 2 questions are for simulation. एक और question है simulation का. One more question will be this question 11, sorry 12, 10, 11 and this question 12. These are for simulation. So for the simulation practice question and this also. 10, 11, 12, 13. 4 questions for simulation. Steps I have written here also. Now one more method, next method. Should I proceed to the next one? Minimax regret rule. यहाँ तक हमने कर लिया क्वेश्चन. 14 अभी बचा हुआ है. 14 question we will do. From 10th, 11, 12. Now next one is question number 9. That is related to minimax regret rule. Minimax regret rule. Now how to use this method to take the decision? First we will read the question. One single question is there, and this question has been asked in the exam. Year actually I don't remember, that's why I forget the year, but this question has been, might be I have written here. ये कब पूछा है? Anyway, this question has been asked, and what is the only one question for this rule, minimax regret rule. Now we will read the question. A manager is trying to decide which of 3 mutually exclusive projects to undertake. There are 3 projects, but these are mutually exclusive. We can consider only one project. Each of the project could lead to varying net profit. The manager has constructed payoff table or matrix. That is, it is written in the question, use the minimax regret rule. Which project should be undertaken? Which project is profitable? If minimax regret rule is applicable. So we can identify which method is used. Now how to solve minimax regret rule question? Step 1, that we will find, this is the second point I am doing, which project is profitable. First one is related to the expected value, that is for project A. This is multiply this one. How to find expected value? expected value, that is profit multiplied probability. That is this column multiplied with this column. And this is done here for project A. For B, this multiplied with probability. 70,000 multiply 0.2, 75,000 multiply 0.5, and 1 lakh multiplied with 0.5. So this is expected value. On basis of expected value, project C should be taken because the highest expected value is for C. Expected value कैसे निकालना है? Expected value के लिए आप probability से multiply करेंगे. So this is expected value. This one is simple. Next one, which is profitable if minimax regret rule is applied. Now for minimax regret rule, we will make the table. इसके लिए table बनाएंगे. First find the first step. Let's have some working for this question. That is minimax regret. Now first step for this minimax regret rule, find regret. I think I have mentioned this one in the PPT. PPT में यहाँ मैंने लिख दिया आपको. First step, find the regret or loss. That is how to find this one, highest value less given value. How to find a regret, that is in this table. Now look at this table. This is how to find a regret for this one. Find the highest value. In this line, for worst situation, what is the highest value is 90. Regret के मैंने steps लिख दिए. How to find regret? Step 1, find regret, that is highest value less given value. Highest value in this row is 90. That is for situation 1. 90 is the highest value. इसका मतलब ये है कि आपने अगर प्रोजेक्ट सी एक्सेप्ट किया होता तो आपका जो इनकम था वो कितना होता? 90 होता. लेकिन आपने अगर ए सिलेक्ट किया तो आपको लॉस कितने का होगा? 40 का लॉस होगा. 90 इतने से कम, दैट इज 90 minus 50. 40 का लॉस होगा. दैट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ रिग्रेट हियर. First we will find the highest value, then take the difference. In the same way, if we have selected project B, if we are selecting project B and highest value is 90, so by selecting this project B, there is loss of 20,000. This is the meaning of regret. And if we are selecting C, there is no loss. Let us see the second table, second value for most likely situation. The highest value is 1 lakh. Highest is 1 lakh. For A, it will be 1 lakh minus 85,000. For B, it will be 1 lakh minus 75,000. For C, it will be 1 lakh minus 1 lakh. That is 1 lakh minus 85, 15, 1 lakh minus 75, and 1 lakh minus 1 lakh. In the same way, for C, highest value is for project B. For A, loss will be 10,000, 140 minus 130. For C, 140 minus 110. फर्स्ट स्टेप रिग्रेट. और रिग्रेट का मतलब ये होता है कि अगर हमने इस प्रोजेक्ट को छोड़ा और ए को सिलेक्ट किया है तो मेरा मैक्सिमम लॉस कितने का हो सकता है? तो 40 का लॉस होगा. बाय सिलेक्टिंग बी वी कैन हैव द लॉस ऑफ 20. एनी डाउट इन कंप्यूटेशन ऑफ दिस वैल्यू रिग्रेट? Step 1, we have computed the regret. This is the formula. Rule is minimax regret rule. Now move from the last one. Regret, first find the regret, then find the maximum. After regret, maximum. So regret we have computed 40, 20, 0. Now find the maximum in this one. Maximum is 40. इस केस में 40 आएगा. For the second case 25. For the third case 30. So 3 values we have taken. ध्यान रखें कौन कौन लिया. 40, 25 and 30. We have taken. First we have made the regret. Step 1, find the regret. Then take maximum. और याद कैसे रखेंगे. बैक साइड से करेंगे क्वेश्चन सॉल्व. Find the regret, then find the maximum. So first regret is this much. 40, 20, 0. And for this one maximum is 40. For this row maximum is 25. And for this one maximum is 30. Now we have to take minimum of these 3 maximum values we have selected. हमने कौन कौन सा लिया था. 40, 25 and 30. इसमें से minimum कौन सा है. 25. So we will select the project B. Again, what is the step? Minimax regret rule. First find the regret, that is loss, then maximum of the loss, then minimum of those values selected. Minimax regret. So first step regret, maximum 40, 25 and 30 and minimum will be 25. And 25 is related with project B. So we have to take project B. On the basis of minimax regret rule, project B should be selected. But on the basis of expected value, project C should have been selected. This is the question. Any doubt? अगर कोई डाउट नहीं है तो we will move to the next topic, next question, that is question number 7. That is value of perfect and perfect and imperfect. Value of perfect information about the market and imperfect information. Basically, we have to find the expected value in both case when situation about the market is known to the management and when it is not known to the management. That is the situation. Value of perfect information. That is, perfect information means what? About 100% accurate prediction can be made about the market and or about the future. The management can predict. That is perfect information. Now, how to find value of perfect information? परफेक्ट इंफॉर्मेशन का मतलब ये हुआ कि आपको मार्केट के बारे में, मार्केट में क्या होने वाला है, इसके बारे में आप जो गेस है वो कर सकते हैं, प्रेडिक्शन कर सकते हैं. तो उससे आप बेनिफिट कितना ले सकते हैं, इसकी वैल्यू हमें निकालनी है. अगेन ओनली वन क्वेश्चन रिलेटेड टू दिस वन. मैनेजमेंट, अब ये भी क्वेश्चन पूछा है पर मुझे ईयर याद नहीं. दैट इज मैनेजमेंट ऑफ पावर टेक लिमिटेड मस्ट चूज whether to go ahead with either of 2 mutually exclusive projects, A and B. The management has to decide from A and B. The expected profit is given. That is for project A. Profit if there is a strong demand 4,000. And when there is weak demand, loss will be 1,000. ये comma नहीं है, ये 1,000. Point, this is not point, this one is 1,000. Option B, when profit is strong, B will give the profit of 1,500. अगर आपका मार्केट स्ट्रॉन्ग है, मार्केट में आपका जो डिमांड है वो स्ट्रॉन्ग है, तो उस केस में आपको ऑप्शन बी, दैट इज प्रोजेक्ट बी विल गिव प्रॉफिट ऑफ 1,500. एंड इफ डिमांड इज स्ट्रॉन्ग, ए विल गिव 4,000 प्रॉफिट. When demand is weak in the market, this project or product, whatever it is, A will give the loss of 1,000 and B will give profit of 500. This is the question. Question ये कह रहा है कि डिमांड हमारा स्ट्रॉन्ग होगा तो ए से इतना प्रॉफिट होगा और बी से हमें 1500 का प्रॉफिट होगा अगर ये सिलेक्ट करते हैं। अगर डिमांड वीक है तो ए हमें इतना लॉस देगा और बी को लेते हैं तो 500 का प्रॉफिट होगा। Now point A says, what would be the decision based on expected value if no information about demands were available? First is when no information about demand. Demand क्या होगा, strong होगा या weak होगा, that management is not known to them. Then how to find expected value? That is simple calculation. For this, when demand is strong, probability is 0.3. So we will find that 4,000 and probability when a strong demand is 0.3. This is for 1500. Expected value 4000 into 0.3. First situation में हमें निकालना है simple expected value. What would be the decision based on expected value? Means we have to multiply profit with probability. So we will multiply profit. Here in this case, when the demand is strong, 4000 profit, and for weak demand 1000 loss. So for the loss probability is 0.7. हमने A का निकाल लिया. A का expected value है 500 और B का 800. कैसे आया? तो यहाँ पे टेबल ये फिगर ले रहे हैं हम. When demand is strong, 4000 is for A profit. When demand is weak, 1000 is loss for A. Now probability for weak demand is 0.7, for strong it is 0.3. So 4000 into 0.3, 1000 into 0.7. Total value will be 500. In the same way, for B, strong demand 1500, weak demand 500. Probability for this is 0.3. So 1500 multiply with 0.3. 500 multiply with 0.7. It is, total is 800. Now for B, project B, the value is higher. So we have to take project B. Point number 1. What will be the decision on the basis of expected value if it is not known that whether demand will be strong or weak? Now next one. What is the value of perfect information about the demand? When information about the demand is known to the management, that demand is either weak or strong, it is known to the management. Now what will be the benefit in that case? That is the value of perfect information. Now in this case, suppose demand is strong. Then which project should be selected? For strong demand, project A has higher profit. When the demand in the market is strong, we will select project A because A is giving higher profit. So in the case of strong demand, we will select A. When demand is strong, select project A and profit is 4000. Multiply with probability, it will be 1200. Now second case, when demand is weak. In the case of weak demand, there is loss from A but profit from B. So in the case of weak demand, we will select this project, option B. So it will be 500. Total it will be 500 into 0.7, 350, and 0.3 into 4000, that is 1200. Now the total value when demand is, information is available to the management, that is 1550. जब आपको मार्केट में पता है कि डिमांड स्ट्रांग होगा या वीक होगा, तो अकॉर्डिंगली वी कैन सिलेक्ट द प्रोजेक्ट. दैट इज in when demand is strong, we have selected A. When demand is weak, we have selected B. Now the expected value will be 1550. Now what is the value, what is the benefit due to this information? अगर आपके पास information नहीं है तो expected value आपका कितना आया था? 800. हमने B select किया था. And when information is available, value is 1550. So benefit due to this market situation कैन बी फॉर 750. हमें इतने का बेनिफिट हो सकता है 1550 का. दैट इज द वैल्यू ऑफ परफेक्ट इंफॉर्मेशन. Means what is the benefit, additional benefit due to perfect information about the market. Single question related to this one. When if any information is not given, expected value, we will select the project on basis of expected value, and it is higher for B, so we will select B. Now when demand is known to the management, then when demand is weak, we will select B because B is given higher profit. When demand is strong, we will select A and multiply this one with corresponding probability. It will be 1550. Difference will be 450. So this is the value of perfect information. This is question number 7. Question 8. Question 8 काफी इजी है, कर लेंगे आप. 9 हमने कर लिया, 10 कर लिया. Sixth कर लिया. Sixth that is related to certainty equivalent factor. Question 5th, जब ये आप घर पे करेंगे, इसमें आपको स्टैंडर्ड डेविएशन, एक्सपेक्टेड एनपीवी कंप्यूट करना है. We will discuss the theory of this one. ये क्वेश्चन आपको थ्योरी में बता दूंगी. कैलकुलेशन वेरी लेंथी. One topic left out for this chapter, that is normal distribution. That is question number 14. Question number 14. Now what is normal distribution? Hint for question number 7 that I have written this one. I will share this sheet. Now what is normal distribution? Normal distribution, that is the method used in probability distribution in stats. It is also known as Gaussian distribution or bell curve because the graph is in bell shape. Normal distribution describes how the value of variables are distributed, and it is symmetric distribution from the central value. Diagram will be given in the book also. आपको थ्योरी में दिया होगा मिड में. Theory will be given here. For the normal distribution, theory is given. I think theory. थ्योरी था इसमें. थ्योरी आप देखेंगे, थ्योरी दिया होगा. ग्राफ विल बी मेड. पहले तो था, नए एडिशन में आई थिंक हटा दिया ये. नहीं है. क्वेश्चन हैज बीन एडेड. Question has been added in new edition, but theory has been removed, I think. आपको मिले तो आप वहां से theory इसका पढ़ सकते हैं. So far I have written the theory in brief. That is normal distribution table describes how the value of variables are distributed, and it is equally distributed from the mean value, and mean value graph is in this way. Question 14. Graph is in this way. This one is the central mean value. Probability distribution is given. That is still this -1. This one is the mean value, -1, -2. I will share the graph. ये graph नहीं है आपके book में. I have not seen that the graph has been removed. Theory is on page 45. तो आप theory में देख लेंगे 45 में आपको ये graph वहाँ पे written है. ये नया एडिशन है, पुराने में मे बी 45 पे ग्राफ होगा. यहाँ पे है 45 में. अगेन आई विल हैव टू गो बैक और 45 पे ग्राफ उसे अभी देखेंगे हम लोग. फर्स्ट लेट अस डू दिस क्वेश्चन कर लेते हैं. अ प्रोजेक्ट हैज मीन वैल्यू एनपीवी ऑफ 40. स्टैंडर्ड डेविएशन ऑफ एनपीवी इज 20. दैट इज मीन ऑफ this project is 40 and this mean value is, the central line is the mean value. The standard deviation is 20. The finance manager wants to determine the probability of NPV. Then the probability of NPV is computed with the help of this Gaussian curve or normal distribution curve. For this, for probability distribution, step 1, we have to find Z score, that is Z value. How to find this Z score? This has been given with the help of one formula, that is Z is equal to X minus mu divided by standard deviation. X is variable, whatever variable will be given, that is Z. Mu is mean value and this one is standard deviation. Now in this question, mean value is given and standard deviation is given. We have to find normal distribution in 3 cases. That is, find the probability of NPV under 3 cases. We have to find Z value under 3 cases. First one is 0 or less. This 0 or less is what? This 0 or less is variable. For the variable we are computing this score, Z score. So step 1 is for the normal distribution. Step 1 is find the Z score. Now how to find the Z score? The formula is given for Z score. That is Z is equal to X minus mu divided by standard deviation. In this case, X is, for first point, 0 or less. That is X is 0. So this one is 0. This is X 0. यहाँ solve भी किया आपको. इधर first point, X is 0 because the first point is 0 or less. X will be taken as 0. 0 से less हम क्या value लेंगे? Less का हमें पता नहीं, so we will take the X as 0. Now mu, this one is mean value. Mean is given as 40. Mean value is 40. The standard deviation is 20. So standard deviation is 20. 0 minus 40 divided by 20 minus 2. Z value is minus 2. Now the probability will be computed with the help of Z table. तो Z table से हम निकालते हैं normal distribution में, and Z table value देखने के लिए हमें Z score निकालना पड़ता है. We find the probability distribution with the help of Z table, and which value we will look in the Z table. For that we find the Z score. So what is the formula to find the Z score? That is Z is equal to, Z score is equal to X minus mu divided by standard deviation. X is the variable for which we are computing the probability distribution. That is X, mu is mean value, and this one is the standard deviation. For point number A, it is given, variable is given as 0. So X will be 0, mu 40, and X will be 20. This one is not X, this one is standard deviation. Standard deviation is 20. Now this is minus 2. Since the Z value is not given, Z table is not given in the book, I have just taken the screenshot of this one, Z table. Exam में आपको given होगा Z score, value will be given. But for the practice, you can use the Google से आप इसमें value find कर सकते हैं. negative Z score and positive Z score. Both the tables are given. Suppose our value is Z is, जो हमने निकाला Z, that is -2. We have to find the value of -2. -2 means what? 2.0. That is -2.0. It can be written as -2.0. We have to look this value in table, Z table. This is the Z table, negative Z score. We have to find -2.0. So Z, here it is written Z. Look for -2.0. That is -2.0. So we will go for -2 and 0. After 2 nothing is given, so it is 0. 0 will be taken. Suppose it is -2.5, then in 2 and we have to take fifth one. 2 में जाके आप fifth देखेंगे. 2.0 का मतलब फर्स्ट ये -2 लेना है और 0 में जाके देखना है. 0 is this one. 0 है तो 0 में कितना आया? -0.0228. Z score value for -2.0 is 0. This is the 0.0228. ये वैल्यू हमें यूज करना है. This will be the probability distribution. तो Z score कितना आया? -2. -2 means -2.0. So we have to look in -2 and 0 value. 0 value is this one. So this one will be the probability distribution. तो आपका A आएगा ये, that is 2.28%. अब ये कैसे सॉल्व किया है उसको आप रहने दें. ये क्या सॉल्व किया है, आपको सिंपल मेथड बता दिया. Z की वैल्यू ये है और Z की वैल्यू आपको टेबल में से देखकर निकालना है. टेबल वैल्यू आपको गिवन होगा, टेबल से आप ये निकालेंगे. नहीं होगा तो आप ऑफलाइन एग्जाम है तो हम वहां पे मांग लेते हैं टेबल. Z टेबल वैल्यू देने आप शीट मांग सकते हैं, उसमें अवेलेबल होता है. ऑनलाइन में आपको गिवन होगा Z स्कोर, बिकॉज दिस मेथड इंटीग्रेशन वगैरह वहां यूज नहीं होगा. दिस इज कंप्यूटेड विद द हेल्प ऑफ Z टेबल. पॉइंट नंबर 1, इज इट क्लियर? ये क्लियर है कैसे निकाला हमने. पॉइंट 2 -2. First we will find Z value and then we will look in the Z table what is the corresponding value with related to this Z value, and this is in Z table it is 0.0228. So the probability will be 2.28%. Now next one is greater than 0. तो 0 के लिए हमने निकाला प्रोबेबिलिटी कितना है? 2.275 और sometimes it is written 2.78. जो अभी हमने निकाला 2.28, राउंड ऑफ किया है. तो 100% for 0 it is probability is 2.28 or 275. So what will be the probability for greater than 0? 0 से कम की probability कितनी है? 2.28. So 0 से ज्यादा की क्या probability होगी? Total probability is 100. तो 0 से ज्यादा की probability होगी 97.725. सिंपली हम इसे निकालेंगे. और लेस देन 0, अगर आपको सिर्फ एग्जाम में यही पॉइंट दिया हो ग्रेटर देन 0 का, तो हाउ टू फाइंड दिस वन? इन इजीएस्ट वे, फाइंड द वैल्यू फॉर लेस देन 0. लेस देन 0 का हमने निकाल लिया ये 2.28. नाउ फॉर मोर देन 0 टोटल प्रोबेबिलिटी इज 100. लेस देन 0 की प्रोबेबिलिटी इतनी है तो मोर देन 0 की this 100 minus this value, that is 97.72. Second value 97.72. This is the second one. Now the third case. Here the range is given between 25 to 45. Two values. Now mean x value, 2x value is given 25 and 45. So for third point, we have to find probability distribution when variable is between 25 to 45. Now we have to find the Z score for both values 25 and 45. For 25, we will use this one, same formula Z score 25 We will take x as 25, mu is mean, and this one is standard deviation. By mistake I have written x here. This one is standard deviation, that is 20. It is given in the question. 20 is the standard deviation of NPV. So for this one, 25 variable minus 40 divided by 20. Now this value is 0.75. For 45 it will be 0.25. For 25 it is 0.75. Now for 0.75 we have to find this value in Z table. How to find this one in Z table? This is minus, so we will look in minus Z table value. माइनस जेड टेबल वैल्यू. और कैसे देखना है इसे? इट इज 0.75. तो 0.7 आपको मिलेगा उसमें. यहाँ पे आप आएंगे, जैसे स्टार्ट किया है तो इसी के नीचे आएगा वो 0.7 आएगा, और 0.7 में जाके आप फिफ्थ कॉलम में जाएंगे. इसमें सेलेक्ट करना है रेंज 0.7. जैसे से ये डाउनवर्ड आएगा इट विल बी 0.76 हर एक का गिवन होगा. सो फॉर 0.7 वी विल गो फॉर 5. इस वैल्यू में आएंगे बिकॉज दिस इज 0.75. This is 0.75. So in table, in negative table, we have to look for 0.7 and in fifth row, sorry, in fifth column, 0.7 में fifth column में आकर suppose ये वैल्यू हमें देखना है तो ये वैल्यू लेंगे, वो आपको मिल जाएगा. आप नेट से आप नेगेटिव जेड स्कोर ये टेबल आपको मिल जाएगा. So this value will be,
Madam, how to see, madam?
this is in negative score, negative table 0.7. 0.7 में जाके आप फिफ्थ कॉलम में जाएंगे. दिस टेबल विल बी गिवन. दिस टेबल, इसका तो मैंने सिर्फ स्क्रीनशॉट लिया इतने तक का ही, बट इन द टेबल इट इज गिवन 0 point, it will be in 0 point. Suppose this is 0.7. This value instead of 1.8 it is 0.7. Now we have to look for 0.75. So in 0.7 we have to go in fifth one. इस फिफ्थ में आप जाके देखेंगे. In this fifth 0.7 fifth में it will be this value 0.5987. And in the same way for 0.25, that is in 0.2 plus Z score में 0.2, and in fifth column that value will be 0.22663. In exam it will be given, but if the value is not given, then in the case of offline exam we can ask for the Z table from the center itself. But it will be given if it is if the question is given in the exam, values will be given for Z score. It should be given. If it is not given, ask for the Z table. And for the practice, you can download from Google Z table, positive Z table score. This one is negative Z score. So download the positive Z score table, positive and negative, and then try to look this value. Should I download, or did you get this one? How to see this 0.75? कैसे देखना है? अगेन यहाँ से आप लोअर वैल्यू आएंगे, इट विल बी 0.7 का भी मिलेगा आपको. एंड 0.7 में फिफ्थ लास्ट डिजिट इज फिफ्थ, सो वी हैव टू गो इन फिफ्थ. फिफ्थ में जाए, जैसे सपोज ये -3.5 देखना है तो हम -3.0 एंड फिफ्थ में देखेंगे. दिस वैल्यू 0.0011. जस्ट ट्राई इट एट होम. एक बार ट्राई कर लें. अगर कुछ प्रॉब्लम आएगा तो मैं आपको Z स्कोर वैल्यू डाउनलोड करके आपको दे दूंगी, या फिर आई विल शेयर दिस वन नेक्स्ट टाइम. Now we were computing for 25 to 45. 25 से 45 निकालना था. For 25 it is 0.75, value is this one. For 25 it is this much. Now we will simply add this value. That is plus minus minus, it will be subtracted. 37.208. Did you get this one? कुछ डाउट है इसमें? आप एक बार गूगल से डाउनलोड कर लेंगे जेड टेबल, पॉजिटिव जेड टेबल एंड नेगेटिव जेड टेबल. Same way I have taken this screenshot. So it is negative Z score. You download both negative Z score and positive Z score and then try to find the value from the Z score table.
Madam, is it madam?
Yes, please say. Please say. Any doubt?
To find the probability, we have to add.
Yes, because this one is find the value of Z score from 25 to 45. For 25, the value is this one and the Z score related to minus 0.75 is 0.59871. This is for this much. And for 0.25, the value will be 0.22663. Now for this, we have to add this one 25 to 45. We will add, here it is in minus. So ultimately it will be subtracted. Because this 0.25 value will be in minus. In the Z table, value will be as minus value. So a total value will be, this one will be subtracted. That is 37.208. Now try to find this value from Z score for 0.75. If you are able to find this one or not, let me know in the next time. And for 0.25, the value will be 0.22663 and in minus. There it will be written in minus. So far in this chapter, these were the topic in this chapter. Theory is on page 45. I think there's some of you are saying theory is given at page 45. So all the topics we have done now. One is Hillier model. Hillier model, if you can remember the formula, it is okay. Otherwise, it is also okay. If cash flows are uncorrelated under Hillier model, when we have to find the standard deviation, if cash flows are not related, then the standard deviation formula will be used as this one. And if it is correlated, this one will be used as this one. याद होगा तो ठीक है, नहीं तो आप इसे skip कर सकते हैं. Very lengthy calculation will be there because we have to find the standard deviation. But this is just based on this one. In the last, you can practice this question. Otherwise, leave this one. आप इसको चाहे तो कर सकते हैं और चाहे तो छोड़ भी सकते हैं. The calculation so far is lengthy for this question. And formula is again lengthy. The rest of the topic we have done. Certainty equivalent. Normal distribution. This is given here. Normal distribution. This one is 40% in some book. This one is written as 66%. Sometimes it is written as 99%. So it will vary in different tables. For 50%, that the area will be within 0.67 of standard deviation. That is 0.67 standard deviation will come under this range. Graph is not given here. The same question, this has been given same type of question. Earlier question number 14 was in workbook. This time it has been added in last. Try to practice this question also for normal distribution. Range is for 500 to 900, for 300 to 600. Download the table Z score table and can practice this one also, this example also. So almost all the questions we have done, so many questions we have done so far. Frequently asked questions from this chapter was decision tree, but this time decision tree it is difficult. Maybe the tree diagram will be given and worst and best outcome we have to select. That can be inflation, impact of inflation. This formula again question can be based on this one. Certainty equivalent, that is easier one. That method can also be there. Certainty equivalent. Now this chapter, after this, leasing and part B. These two chapters we have to do after this one. And after that, theory of part B we will do and portfolio. Now for today,
Analysis homework.
yes, and next time we will do, next Tuesday we will do leasing chapter. So for today, आज के लिए यहाँ तक रहने देते हैं. Practice chapter 2, and if you have any doubt, please ask. Chapter 2, next time please ask the questions. And if you couldn't find the Z table, then let me know in the group. I will share the Z table. Mutual fund, yes, definitely mutual fund we will do after leasing. Mutual fund, that is part B.